Welcome back to Your Favourite Teacher. We have covered the legislation and sanctions around doping in sport, and now we are going to take a look at the banned substances themselves, why athletes take them, and the potential health risks associated. Firstly, it is important to understand why athletes dope, and the thought process that can lead them to breaking the laws of sport. There are an infinite number of scenarios that can lead an athlete down this particular road, but they can often be grouped together based on key driving factors. Fundamentally, sport is a business and a source of income for the athletes and their families. The law of success dictates that the better you are, the more money you can potentially earn through salary and sponsorships. As a result, struggling athletes may be driven to look at ways to enhance their performance outside the laws of clean sport. Doping may enhance certain physical qualities that enable them to be more successful and therefore attract greater financial support. Similarly, athletes at the top of the game may look to extend their dominance through doping in the hope that they can earn the big salaries for as long as possible. Athletes of all ages operate in a high-pressure environment where success is often measured by wins and losses. The same is true for their coaches and support staff. It is not unheard of for athletes to be pressured or duped into taking banned substances by those around them. It is worth noting that if an athlete is caught doping, then the coaches and support staff can also be banned for the role they play. In some athletes, the desire to win is so great that they go to extremes and seek illegal methods to secure victory over their peers. Fierce rivalries and competition coming from opposition and sometimes inter-squad are all factors that can contribute to the decision to consume banned substances. A completely avoidable but no less prevalent reason athletes take banned substances is a lack of education on the subject or by sheer accident. Think back to Maria Sharapova. We discussed WADA in the previous lesson and touched briefly on the prohibited list. In this section, we will break down the various categories of substance and methods and look at what performance-enhancing effects they have as well as potential side effects. The 8 categories of banned substances are anabolic agents, beta-2 agonists, hormone and metabolic modulators, diuretics and masking agents, stimulants, narcotics, cannabinoids, and glucocorticoids. The banned methods are blood doping, gene and cell doping, and chemical and physical manipulation. Anabolic agents are natural or synthetic compounds that mimic testosterone and enhance its effects within the body. Testosterone is naturally produced by the body and is responsible for the development of muscle mass and synthesis of protein. Increasing the volume will mean more muscle mass can be built, and the resulting effect is a greater ability to produce and absorb force. This comes at a risk though, as the naturally produced testosterone within the body exists in a balance with other biochemicals, and too much of one tips the scale and has a knock-on negative impact. This form of doping can result in mood swings, acne breakouts, and aggressive behaviour. This category of banned substance is commonly used by endurance sport athletes as the primary effect is bronchodilation, meaning it relaxes the muscles and the structures in your airways, resulting in an increased lung capacity. An increase in lung capacity means more oxygen can be inhaled and transferred to the working muscles, resulting in an increased performance during aerobic-based activities. Though mild, overuse of these substances can result in tremors, headaches, and irregular heartbeats. An example of a common bronchodilator is the asthma inhaler. Hormone and metabolic modulators operate in a similar way to anabolic agents in that they can modify the effects hormones have within the body to either accelerate or slow down specific functions. Substances classified as modulators are not primarily used by athletes to enhance performance, but rather suppress the adverse effects of an anabolic agent abuse. Because of this, the use of modulators is often seen mostly in sports where the use of anabolic agents is also common. Strength and power sports such as weightlifting and combat events are a good example. Because hormone and metabolic modulators impact the endocrine system, the side effects can range from minor to more severe delayed onset conditions. Diuretics are drugs that increase the rate of urine flow and sodium excretion to adjust the volume and composition of body fluids. These substances are often abused by athletes to excrete water for rapid weight loss and to mask the presence of other banned substances. Testing for banned substances requires a urine and blood sample. If an athlete has been doping, they may take a diuretic to try and empty their system of contaminated urine so they stand a better chance of going undetected. Side effects are often those associated with dehydration, such as cramping, muscle soreness, impaired balance, and in more severe cases, kidney failure. Stimulants are utilised by athletes to invigorate the central nervous system, beat chronic fatigue, and improve alertness. Within a game situation, this may provide them with a shortened reaction time, which will give them an unfair advantage over the opposition. Interestingly, some stimulants have also been proven to impact endurance capabilities, which means they are used across a wide variety of sports. Overuse of stimulants can cause exhaustion, insomnia, addiction, and in severe cases heart attacks, increased blood pressure, and strokes. Narcotics such as cocaine do not possess performance-enhancing capabilities, but the use of such illegal party drugs brings sport into disrepute and projects a poor image of the athlete and those affiliated with them. It is for this reason they are also included in the prohibited list. A social drug that has potential performance-enhancing qualities, cannabinoids have been thrown into the limelight in recent years, as in some countries the use of cannabis and CBD products has been made legal. The medicinal properties have resulted in heavy use for their anxiety and stress-relieving capabilities. However, as they are included in the prohibited list, any use will incur a sanction regardless of the legality in various countries. Due to new laws, it has become more and more important for athletes to understand the legislation on banned substances in sport to avoid sanctions. Some negative side effects associated with heavy use of cannabinoids include paranoia and depression. Glucocorticoids are steroid hormones produced by the body or manufactured synthetically that have pain-relieving and anti-inflammatory effects. Receiving an injection or topical cream to reduce inflammation following an injury may result in faster recovery time. They can also suppress the sensation of physical fatigue, allowing the performer to continue to work at a level beyond what others in the field can match. It is for this reason they are abused for doping purposes by a multitude of sportsmen and women. Several banned substances have their place in treating genuine medical conditions. Therefore, athletes who are required to use prohibited substances have the option of applying for a therapeutic use exemption, or TUE. Many areas of debate arise from athletes using excessive amounts of a prohibited substance under a TUE. Therefore, the use of banned substances for medical purposes is heavily monitored. Blood doping and similar techniques refer to the manipulation of blood and blood components, as well as the administration of synthetic blood substitutes. All of these methods are prohibited because they improve the body's oxygen supply and subsequently the physical performance of aerobic-based activities. Blood doping involves increasing the volume of red blood cells available to transport oxygen to the working muscles. Blood is removed from the body several weeks prior to competition. The body then works to replace the lost blood, returning to the original volume, before the extracted blood is then transfused back into the body to increase the total volume. The key health risks stem from incorrectly banked blood and can lead to potentially life-threatening blood poisoning. Gene and cell manipulation is the introduction of substances or materials that are capable of directly influencing muscle growth, fat reduction, or the production of specific hormones in the body. This incredibly advanced method is often considered the future of doping because of its ability to alter the very genetic makeup of an individual and essentially tailor their physical capabilities for success in a particular sport. This method refers to the tampering of sample collections and the collection process itself. Once a sample has been collected, it is sealed in containers that cannot be opened outside of the testing laboratory. Tampering or swapping these samples results in severe sanctions. This is the method that was at the centre of the recent Russian doping scandal. Hopefully you have found this breakdown of banned substances and methods useful. If you want to test your knowledge, make sure you have a go at the anti-doping quizzes in the testing section.